Hello, everyone. We are the Marginal Thinkers. My name is Aliza,
I'm Lavia.
And I'm Krish.
and we are going to be presenting to you the business case study.
Our objective is to identify the cause for the expected dip in visa applications and to find effective solutions to increase profits over both the long term and the short term. Our methodology was to analyze and carry out our own interpretations of surveys conducted by the Student Experience Research Consortium, as well as the European Union Migration Network. Our results analysis, well, according to a mix of simple psychology and psychic powers, we predict a 30% increase in raw profits aside from the new clients that these programs would attract. And we would give you a more accurate number if we had the figures for your net revenue in both 2019 and 2020. And as far as our conclusions are concerned, have at them for yourself.
According to the Mobility Market Outlook on COVID-19, the global revenue for the travel and tourism industry will be an estimated of 396.37 billion US dollars in 2020, a decrease of around 42.1% from its previous year. It's no surprise that VFS too would have taken a hit on its annual revenue. When reporting on the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the number of international students interested to enroll in higher educational institutions, HEIs, EU member states, Norway, and the United Kingdom generally base their responses on indicators such as the number of applications to HEIs and the number of applications for visas or residence permits for educational purposes, among others. 6 EU member states and Norway reported to have noticed a negative impact of the pandemic on the number of international students wishing to enroll in an HEI. The decrease in permit applications was very steep in Spain. More than half of EU member states and the United Kingdom reported that it was still too early to assess the full effects of COVID-19 on the number of students wishing to enroll in HEIs, and Finnish consultates processed 83% fewer applications for Schengen visa in 2020 with 152,543 compared to the number of visas processed in 2019, which was 895,781. From this, we interpret that the issue at hand seems to be the predicted drop in visa applications due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which has a majority of the population seldom traveling due to the fear of getting infected. Especially since the academic sector is gradually shifting to online learning format with services such as Zoom and Microsoft Teams, this has the potential of impacting VFS's annual revenue in a negative manner.
Presenting to you the dynamic visa program. International students are allowed to stay in their country of study for a certain period of time after graduating for the purpose of seeking employment or starting a business. According to the second inform of the EU Migration Network, the pandemic may compromise the international students' ability to attain such goals within the usual timeline given its negative effects on the labor market. We interpret that the situation is highly beneficial to VFS Global, and VFS would take advance payment from the client to give him a visit visa immediately on expiry of his student visa. That is €50 in advance plus cost of the visit visa. The benefits of this program are not only the logic behind its profitability, but also the feasibility of this program. The reason that most students and their sponsors or parents would opt for such a program is that it would be saving them money at the same time as it would save them from the two-way airfare one would pay once his or her student visa expires, and not to mention the time that they would lose for looking for employment. This is extremely viable because all it requires is due diligence from VFS once their student visa is on the verge of expiring. And this shouldn't be too much of a task considering that VFS has always lived up to its motto of operation on the core ethos of speed, comfort, and convenience.
Now, you may be asking us what's next in line. So according to a survey conducted by the leading education platform Quizlet, which has over 10 million users worldwide, in the year 2021, university students are most concerned about the following. With the number one thing we have is, of course, academics. At number two, we have something that was much more the survey conducted in 2019, which is health concerns about obtaining COVID-19 and staying healthy in general. And thirdly, we have finances, as in financing their education. Presenting the wellness method. This package would include providing students with a better opportunity at availing student loans in the European region. With the current rate of international loans at 4.5%, down from 5.6% in 2019, VFS would enable its partner banks to increase that interest rate from 4.5% to 4.85%, giving the students an extra benefit for an added cost and more profit margin for VFS. Students traveling abroad will have this as an advantage, since the application of student loans isn't an easy task. It's extremely tedious and very time consuming, but with VFS, it's made easy and approachable. VFS would collaborate with its partner banks, making sure that they receive a certain percent of interest as commission, which would result in great profits over time. VFS would also partner up with insurance providers like Allianz International to provide international medical insurance for all of its student clients across the globe to ensure, or you could say, to reduce the fear in the mind of the students. Their core care plan costs about €93 per month, with a maximum plan coverage of €500,000, with the selling point of this plan being pay small today and save big tomorrow. The profitability of such a package would be both long-term and short-term, since student clients will pay a fee of €100 per annum, and the VFS and VFS Global will be getting commissions from both of its aforementioned partners. Next slide. Now, one of the questions in the business case study was, how will your program vary by geographic region? Now, in the United States of America, the only variable part of the program would be the banks we partner up with. Seeing that we'll be partnering up with HSBC across the globe, the only variable here would be Common Bonds Loan Services specific to the US region. The European Union, well, for students in the EU who would like to take private loans, we'd be partnering up with HSBC Global and Banco Santander throughout the European Union. As far as other nations throughout Asia are concerned, we'd be partnering up with HSBC Global since they offer extremely great worldwide service and extremely great rates. And considering that Indian students constitute a great part of students going to the EU, we'd be partnering up with banks such as ICICI and HDFC Bank, both of which have shown exponential growth over the last 5 years. As far as students from Dubai are concerned, we'll be partnering up with banks such as Emirates NBD and HSBC. And that's it. A profit of €500 per student, seeing that most programs are 5 years, and not to mention the commissions from each partner bank. This just goes to show that symbiotic ventures are the future.
A new service which VFS Global could offer is one which assists students in the world with getting their health passes, which will soon be required by the UK law. The European Union in its entirety claims that the health passport system shall be ready by June. And even corporations such as Etihad and Emirates have just released news that health passports are soon going to be necessary for travel from Dubai to any part of the world. VFS can quite simply get ahead of its competitors and gain great profits from this potential venture.
Now, to summarize our program, we have the dynamic visa program, which is pretty self-explanatory. We have the wellness method, which allows students to concentrate solely on the academics without having to worry about financing their education, as well as taking care of their health, since they'll be covered by banks across the world, as well as Allianz International Medical Insurance. And thirdly, we have health pass services. We believe that health pass services are the future, as do many other corporations of countries across the world. If VFS could get ahead of its competitors, it would be a great step forward for VFS in securing the health passport market and obtaining great profits over time. Thank you.